This cheating problem would make the game
is that Rocket
virtually
League?
unplayable, as just one cheater in a lobby can spoil the experience for 59 other players.
Just to be clear, he is still talking about Fall Guys right now, but there's even more cheaters in Stumble Guys, dude. Anyone who beat me, in fact, was a cheater. Oh my god, I didn't even realize Fall Guys was this old.
The most relevant Fall Guys has been since its heyday was nearly 2 full years later.
Until they make a freaking iPhone game already, would ya?
And this happened after...
Oh, I forgot. They ain't coming.
Epic Games, I'm sure Epic Games would have published one if it weren't for its lawsuit with Apple, kneecapping their reach and killing their prospects of making a port. This already gave Stumble Guys a leg up.
It's better, baby! Let's go! Five Nights Freddy! I mean Stumble Guy. I was mostly joking. I don't know if this is really the better game. It kind of sucks, let's be honest. Hey YouTube, dude, we're reacting to another video today. This one's about freaking Stumble Guys, dude. Freaking Stumble Guys is like a clone of Fall Guys that was also free. Even though Fall Guys was not originally free, I paid for it, like $15. Me, I love Epic Games. But dude, Stumble Guys had Mr. Beast in it, so tomato with Mr. Beast in it? I'm kind of feeling I'm leaning towards one more than the other. Dude, this video is freaking by Terror. It's the day Fall Guys stumbled. Shout out. Let's see what he's got to say about the Stumbly Boys.
The war of corporate branding.
Corporate branding.
Lego wasn't the first toy building brick. Oreo isn't the first chocolate cream cookie, and Stumble Guys isn't the first battle royale with Mario Party inspired minigames.
True.
But they are the ones we know and buy.
Also, there's another one of these called freaking Rumble Club, dude. It's basically like if you asked AI to just do it again. Just please do it again. Maybe round them off a little more. Round them off for paw. Okay.
Today.
I don't know what he meant by that.
Before Stumble Guys, there was another. For every ripoff that manages to overtake those before it, there are actually
Surf mentioned? Let's fucking go, boys!
That try and fail miserably.
Also, can you smash that like button, boys? Appreciate you, boys.
Normally,
boys.
ripoffs of something never even get a fraction of the success. But Stumble Guys isn't normal. This is the
Fall Guys still hasn't come out on mobile. Are they even considering that people want this at all?
One in a million occurrence where a ripoff ultimately goes on to surpass the original. But how? How did Stumble Guys go from just another ripoff of Fall Guys to a globally known game, partnering with giant companies like Hot Wheels, the NFL, Rabbids, Nerf, Barbie, Monopoly,
Mr. Beast,
SpongeBob, and Mr. Beast?
Let's fucking go, boys. And SpongeBob? Dude, there was so many of these, actually. That's a lot of partnerships that Fall Guys didn't get. Kind of crazy for their own game. Rumble Club.
But to a ripoff ultimate giant companies
so no
like
head, by the way?
Hot Wheels, the NFL, Rabbids, Nerf, Barbie, Monopoly, SpongeBob, and Mr. Beast. But to get to the bottom of Stumble Guys' success, we first have to talk about the game that it spawned from. The year 2020 was seeing a decline in the Battle Royale subgenre that came to prevalence by the end of the 2010s. Games like Fortnite, while still going strong, was steadily losing players as the mystique of Chapter 2 was wearing off. If you were to ask a random passerby...
I don't even know what that sentence means. I am 45.
I am 30 or 40 years old and I do not need this.
And I am 30 or 40 years old and I do not know what I don't have time for this, okay? Whatever the Aqua Teen Hunger Force meme is, put it in.
Do you understand me?
The average person would probably claim that Battle Royale was dying. But in August of that year, Fall Guys would become the newest and most refreshing take on the genre, taking its Mario Party and Wipeout-inspired mini-games and connecting them with the underlying thread of Battle Royale.
I remember I played this once in like 2020 and I like barely remember it at all. It was a dark time, to say the least. I was going through it. I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but that was a hard year for me. Only me? Anyone else out there?
It took two previously successful formulas and blended them together in a way that felt fresh, and more importantly, in a way that felt fresh to the Twitch livestream audience. Fall Guys was released with a very unusual strategy.
I am honestly just getting the games confused now in my head.
Rise in viral games, especially during the pandemic, Mediatonic released Fall Guys
That is moist critical, dude. Who are you talking about, man? Get your facts right, Terror. I'm just kidding. I'm just busting your hump.
Free download keys to streamers, not just to play the game themselves, but to also give download keys to their chat. This instilled a ton of interest in the game early on, not just by building a viewer base for the game, but by giving it an active player base before it even fully launched. And once the floodgates opened, all hell broke loose.
Let's go! I'm flooding, dripping, sopping, so much water!
Five Nights at Freddy's.
The rise of Fall Guys can best be described as a tidal wave. As much like the impact of a tsunami, it all comes at once. Fall Guys was quickly averaging over 100,000 active users, and for a game that was just launched, that was unprecedented. Streamers would hop on the game with other streamers, creating these collaborations that were never possible up to this point. But all this
There were no multiplayer games or friendships made before this.
Didn't come without a catch. With such rapid growth, the game would see an unpredictable rise of cheaters.
What are you doing?
In each and every match, it would be common for someone to turn on cheats and easily win the game. This was only made worse by the game's
How do you cheat in a fucking run and jump game?
winning incentive. After winning the game, you would get a crown, which the player can spend on different cosmetic outfits. This made the prospect of winning every game possible very appealing to cheaters. This cheating problem would make the game
is that Rocket
virtually
League?
unplayable, as just one cheater in a lobby can spoil the experience for 59 other players. And even in the rare case when there wasn't cheaters in the lobby, once you play the game long enough, you get used to the 24 different mini-games.
Just to be clear, he is still talking about Fall Guys right now, but there's even more cheaters in Stumble Guys, dude. Anyone who beat me, in fact, was a cheater.
And to detest the group mini-games for being random chance. While memes like going after Yellow Team helps bring the community together, it also made being a member
Is
of
that
the Yellow
Rocket
Team a
League?
death sentence. Imagine losing 1/3 of the games you played just by randomly being assigned to this team. And new players would have a harder time getting into it if they were late to the party. When the game finally did get a notable update, over 2 months after launch, Season 2 was underwhelming at best. While the update finally started to deal with the hacking problem, it didn't do as well in terms of adding new content. Introducing
Yeah, I don't think I ever looked at the game again until it became free for ever.
mini games and a 5th one halfway through the season. It just wasn't enough to keep people playing. At its core, despite such rapid success, the Fall Guys team didn't really capitalize on it, and they weren't really able to with the short amount of time they had. The wave died down. Comparing Fall Guys to Fortnite, after it rose to relevancy, it maintained its platform through the use of consistent updates. Every 2 weeks there would be an
Fortnite, I hate to say this. I hate to be a stickler for the rules, guys, but I'm gonna have to do it to him right now. Fortnite, another game that put Mr. Beast in it. Coincidence? Stumble Guys, Fortnite, working to get in cahoots? It could happen. They're only one relationship away. This is
map
business.
change, or item, or weapon, and that kept people playing. With Fall Guys, what you saw was what you got. And I don't think I even need to mention that, at the peak of its success, Fall Guys was usurped by another stream-friendly social game that would reach new heights. And in the middle of the pandemic, Among Us was just the better social game.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize Fall Guys was this old.
The most relevant Fall Guys has been since its heyday was nearly 2 full years later to play.
Until they make a fucking iPhone game already, would ya?
And it's funny that I chose to compare Fall Guys to Fortnite earlier, as this happened after
Oh, I forgot. They ain't coming.
Epic Games went on to buy their developers, Mediatonic, in March of 2021. But while Fall Guys was on its perpetual fall, it would be a few years until another game came along to fully replace it.
Let's go,
Stumble
baby!
Guys had already been released as early as September 2020 on the Google
Scopely. Monopoly Go, Big Daddy Company, Scopely.
Play Store, but it wouldn't see worldwide
Coming in
appeal
hot
until
to
early
fuck your
2022, before
wallet.
ultimately overtaking Fall Guys once and for all by the end of the year. When a game gets popular, one of 2 things happens in the mobile game market. The game either gets a mobile release, or opportunistic mobile game developers take making it into their own hands. In other words, they make rip-offs. In the beginning, Stumble Guys was just one of many Fall Guys rip-offs. Alongside titles like...
Also, freaking, this is just from my own experience. Fall Guys has a lot of loading times, and it's probably because the game actually looks good. But Stumble Guys looks more like a PS1 version, and it loads way faster, so they probably benefit from that too.
Run Guys.
Guys are falling.
Fall.io. Run Royale 3D. Soda Guys.
Those look fire.
And Fall Down Challenge.
Even better, dude.
But there were a number of factors that led to Stumble Guys becoming the de facto Fall Guys alternative. Firstly, Fall Guys didn't have a mobile port. In 2020, Chinese publisher Bilibili gained the rights to a mobile release, but that never came to fruition. I'm sure Epic Games would have published one if it weren't for its lawsuit with Apple, kneecapping their reach and killing their prospects of making a port. This already gave Stumble Guys a leg up, as it wasn't competing with the original game, at least not at first. You might not know this, but mobile games are the silent majority of people who play games. Everyone has a smartphone, after all. Looking at the biggest game of all time, 41% of Minecraft's yearly revenue comes from mobile devices, with the other 59%
less than half. Let's go!
Version, PC's Bedrock Edition, and consoles. Basically, once Stumble Guys was competing with other ripoffs, it had the entire mobile market to itself. It already won. Compared to the ripoffs, it was the most featured game, with its own battle pass, numerous different mini-games, a party system, and cosmetics all from the get-go. And while it had pay-to-win abilities like punching locked away in the paid battle pass, the game being pay-to-win also made them a ton of money. And while you can criticize the shameless implementation of these paid mechanics, many find it a lot easier to just make fun of them, specifically YouTubers. Paying to attain and abuse these pay-to-win aspects of the game was good content, but it also gave Stumble Guys a lot of attention. Basically, it's free promotion. Just like how Fall Guys used Twitch culture to get off the ground, Stumble Guys had support from YouTubers making videos on it, whether it's because they wanted to, or for monetary gain. Stumble Guys would begin working with YouTubers through direct sponsorships, creator codes, or their Stumble Partner program. At a time when Fall Guys still costed $20, giving yet another edge to the up-and-comer. Even though Fall Guys had more levels and variety, the accessibility of Stumble Guys was just unmatched. By the end of the year, Fall Guys was at its lowest point, its Steam numbers flatlining to about 5,000 after Epic Games pulled it out and confined it to the Epic Games launcher. Meanwhile, Stumble Guys was at its most explosive period yet.
It's better, ready? Let's go! Five Night Freddy! I mean Stumble Guy. Cinco Noches de Alfredo.
And after it was already in the public consciousness, that's when the collab started. The first collaboration was with Hot Wheels,
it's Hot or Wheels! It's Jimmy or Beast!
They would only get NFL, Rabbids, Nerf, Barbie, Mr. Beast, and Monopoly collaborations would occur in 2023, a new collaboration coming with each and every little update. Now Fall Guys itself is no stranger to collaborations. Cuphead, Sonic, Invincible, Encanto, those are some pretty—
I'm sorry, who? Who? I knew a couple of those, but Kanto? I'm so sorry.
Games. I guess that's one good thing about the Epic Games bio. They've even partnered with Among Us, the game that accidentally stole their thunder in the first place. And SpongeBob, who has also colluded with the enemy. This man must be stopped! But at the same time, Fall Guys was also seeing the least amount of new content in years, going from November of 2022 all the way to May the next year before receiving a single update. Stumble Guys used Fortnite's collaboration strategy to eventually overtake Fall Guys, which all comes together in a strange way. In 2017, Epic Games beat PUBG with its constant updates and stayed ahead with its collaborations.
True.
And over 5 years later, Stumble Guys would use those same techniques to overtake Fall Guys, leaving it in the same position as PUBG all those years ago.
Woo!
Even after numerous updates
I was rooting for them
and
the
its
whole
own
time.
collaborations, Fall Guys would never really catch up, and aside from the occasional big update, remains forgotten by the general public. Almost erased from history.
Is that true?
The thing that Lego, Oreo, and Stumble Guys all have in common isn't just the fact that they could be considered ripoffs, but the fact that they took an idea and shaped it into a better version, whether it's in the form of marketability, quality, or consistency.
Alright, I don't know if I was mostly joking. I don't know if Stumble Guys is really the better game. It kind of sucks, let's be honest. Shout out freaking Terra, that was a good point. It freaking is kind of like how they did Fortnite dirty, or PUBG, whatever. So many games were mentioned. Somehow I think Fall Guys and, well, Stumble Guys will always be compared to Fall Guys in a way that PUBG is not always referenced when you're talking about Fortnite, if that makes sense. Fall Guys takes the dub in my mind, even if they are took a lot of L after L after L business-wise. Who do you support in this battle, Stumble Guys or Fall Guys? Let me know in the freaking comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the freaking reaction video. Thank you guys for freaking watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.